All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And I've been going through a series of video presentations for the Rankin Technical College AWD Application and Web Development 1111 .NET Framework with Entity Databases class. The book that we've been going over is ASP.NET MVC with Entity Framework and CSS by Naylor. We're in Chapter 6. You may or may not have noticed this, but I've only gone through about 25 pages in this chapter, and I've already done 4 presentations. So this stuff is very code intensive. The author mentions here on the bottom of page 134, there is one more issue to consider with the present code. If we run the website with debugging and add 2 valid files, then prior to uploading the second file, the count of the images is 2. This looks like every time we call db.savechanges, we are in fact saving entities for all the previous files as well. However, although those files exist in the context, Entity Framework tracks if an entry in the DB context has already been saved, and it will not try to resave it. It says you can see the SQL statements generated by Entity Framework if you want to add those lines of code. All right, then the SQL will be written to the output window in Visual Studio. As an example, the author says here that we can do this. So in our HTTP post upload method, we can add that line right there. Now it says trace does not exist in the current context, so we need the using statement in there. Ensure that you are using system.diagnostics at the top. I just did that. And they said you can add a breakpoint if you want. Okay, I'm not going to do that. All right. Now, what I will try to do, though, is this is the, what do we got here? That's the error list. That's the output window. So we will go and try to save this, run this program again, see if we get any output in here. And I'll tell you the reason that I'm not going through and doing this debugging, if we have time, we'll do it in class, of course. But the reason I'm not doing that is that has a tendency to not always work. All right, and it can get very frustrating for the instructor very quickly. All right. I have no idea if I'm going to get anything in here or not, so Alright, it would be showing them in here, but I guess I would have to have the breakpoints set. I'm sorry, not doing that. I am actually going to take that line and comment it out. Alright. Performance consideration when using db.savechanges. Bottom of page 136. If you are building a system responsible for bulk upload and using Entity Framework, I do not recommend calling save changes for each individual record. In the multiple file upload code, I have included the call to save changes for each item in the loop to demonstrate some of the features. And also because the code can deal with only 10 records at a time. In a system that's making bulk uploads, maybe hundreds at a time, it's much faster to call save changes once after all of the items have been added to the DB context. Well, that sure makes sense. If you attempted to upload any of your own files during this exercise, you may have encountered a rather annoying error screen caused by the web server, IIS, having a maximum limit of 4B on request lengths. This limit is set with a view to prevent DOS attacks, but it can be overwritten. DOS is denial of service, and if you don't know that, probably, for example, a very famous example of denial of service is when you get a computer that can make other computers act as though it's doing a call out. And you put so much stress on the server that it's only designed to handle X, and you give it 3 times X, for example, and it can't handle it. There was a situation, denial of service can be because of mean things, and it can happen naturally too. And what I mean is, years ago, I can't even remember the teams involved. I think it was the Colorado Rockies, but I could be wrong. But there was some team that was offering some kind of a thing to, for users. I don't know if it was an end of the year game, it was a playoff game, I don't remember. But they said, to qualify or to get this deal or whatever, call this number now. And they had it set up for a few hundred callers, and they ended up getting several thousand. So much stress, for lack of better words, was being put on the server that the server couldn't handle it. Thus, the DOS, or the denial of service. All right. Now, it says we're going to do a couple things. Up the limit from 2B to 20, or 2 MB, or 2 meg to 20 meg. And display a different error page when the error occurs. Now, that's pretty important. Display a different error page. All right. You can change the max file size in 2 places in the web config. First of all, edit the system.web section and add this in the system.web section. So let's look, see if we can find that. That's in our main web config. System.web. Notice they're running framework 4.6. I guess I'm running 5.2. Was not even aware of that until I just saw it right now. So I want the HTTP runtime target framework. All right, and I want to add this on the end. All right, max request length. Next, update the system.webserver section of web config to add a new security section containing a request limits parameter as follows. So we've got this, we've got modules here, and they're saying that underneath that modules that's right there, we want to open up some space right here, and we want to add, I do want that, this right here. Both of these changes set the value of both parameters to 20 meg. The maximum request length allowed will now be 20 meg. All right. You can close that. Adding a custom error page for maximum request length exceeded errors. We are now going to add a custom error page to replace the one shown in figure 617. That was the one that was shown in the book earlier on page 137. To do this, we are going to add a new controller to handle requests and a view to display an error page to the users. Add a new empty controller. All right, we want this one to be empty, as it says, and it's going to be called error controller. So let's come in here. Let's go to controllers. Let's close our models here. Close it shared. We can close our controllers, that's fine. Right mouse click, add controller. We want this one to be empty, add, and we want the name of this to be, say, error controller. All right. And the author says that's basically what you have right now. And the action result, we want to change this to file upload limit exceeded. All right. Next, right mouse click rather on the method name right here, and choose Add View from the pop-up menu. In the Add View window that appears, name the view file upload limit exceeded. Is that what I called it here? Yep. File upload limit exceeded. Empty without action. All right, so this looks the same way it looks in the book on the top of page 139. Click the Add button and then update the contents of the view. So there it is. We want the title to be changed. Just pretty it up a little. File, upload, limit exceeded. Then we want to come in here, change this H2. They want it to look like this. Sorry, the files you tried to add are more than 20 meg, etc. So let's put that in. Alright, sorry, the files you tried to upload were more than 20 meg. Please go back and try uploading them one by one, or saving them to a smaller file size or format. There we go. Next, update the main web.config to add a new HTTP errors section to the system.webservers section. So first, let's save this. I guess we do need to open this up again. And we just put in our system.web. Servers. System.web server. There, that's what we just put in, was that security thing. And we want to come in here and add this. It's showing it being added at the top, so we will do the same. Okay. This change checks for the occurrence of a 404.13 error, I think it is. If the error occurs, the user is redirected to the new error file upload exceeded page. 404.13 is the number of the error thrown when the maximum request length is exceeded. The error mode parameter that's in here can be set to one of three values: detailed, local only, or custom. Custom will always display the error page. The detail value will always display the normal ASP.NET detail error message, and the detailed local only will only display detailed error messages on the local machine. In this case, we are happy to see the custom error message all the time, so we chose in here custom, as you can see right there. Now when you attempt to upload a file that's greater than 20 meg, you should receive this error. I don't think we've got anything that's greater than 20 meg, so I'm going to try something here. I don't know if this will work or not, but I'm going to try something. Well, let's try it two ways. Yeah, that's not going to work. Let's go back to here. I don't think this is probably going to work either, but we can try it. See, these are not big files. I can try this, and I don't know if it'll work or not. I've got to find a big file. How do I do this? I want to test this so I can show you what I think it should look like. well, here's a file, this advanced Java thing. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it here. Now this is going to look real screwy, but please just bear with me, okay? All right, so I've got this PDF. I'm going to change this to hello.jpg. It's not a JPEG file, but I want it to be too big. There it is. All right, so I'm going to try to load that. So I'm going to copy this, and this is just very temporary. I'm going into my content folder here. And I'll try to paste that in. What did I just call that? Hello.jpg. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to try running this again, and I'm going to try to load that hello.jpg, and if it works the way it should work, then what I should see here is that message. Okay, we'll see if indeed that's what happens, and that's our custom error page. So I want to come in here and again go to product, upload, choose files. Of course it's not shown there. Images, where is my file? See if I paste it in there. Good. So there, that's 873 meg, or K rather. That's not too big. So let me get rid of that. What I would need to put in here is an actual file that's greater than 20 meg. I don't know if I've got any files that are greater than 20 meg. All right, let's see. Is there anything actually in here? That wouldn't happen from here. I can grab one of those files maybe. All right, I'm going to try again. I'm trying something here. I'm going to come over here. Let's see. Let's go to the E drive. I'm going to take one of the files that I'm using this semester. Let's grab like one of these. Okay, this is an MP4 file. I'm going to copy it here. And that's more than 20 meg. Now, this what I'm doing is ridiculous, but I'm trying to do it to see if this works. All right, now I've got this. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to my program. I am going to stop the run. I am going to go into my product images, and I'm going to paste that in. There it is. AWD, etc., etc. All right, let's rename this. Test.jpg. All right, so I'm going to run this again. I'm attempting to force my error message to run and to show you the custom error page. That's the idea behind this, not to waste my time, not to waste your time. Of course, it's not shown there. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll right mouse click and paste again. Somewhere in there should now be test. Oh, it is still got the big name on there. So we'll type in again, test.jpg. Back to list. No. Upload. All right. Choose files. So there's test.jpg. Upload. There it is. There's our custom error page. All right. And it's because this is too long, so I'd have to hit enter a couple times. I'm actually going to do that. Again, I'm not trying to waste my time, not trying to waste your time. But to me, this is really, really important because we are calling our own why am I getting that in red? We may be exceeding the size for an H2. I don't know. So let's take those BR tags and let's put them here. There. All right, let's run this again. All right, choose our file. It'll be that test file, which we have to get rid of then. Test, upload. There you go. That's our custom error page. Notice it even says error/file upload limit exceeded. That's the message we put in. All right. So we were able to test that and find out that it did work as it should, as we thought it should. So I'm going to get rid of this test file because that's really making the project a hell of a lot bigger than it has to be. All right. Again, we are already at 30 minutes almost. So the next thing is associating images with products. Okay. So we're going to come in, and that is what? That's a very big section. I can already tell it's going to have to be broken down into several sections. All right. So what I'm going to do is start on that when I come back in just a minute.